What's up, y'all? Welcome to the show. I'm Lemar. That's LJ. What the hell are we talking about today?
All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is how Ja Rule keeps getting disrespected by everybody, no matter who it is. No matter if it's 50 Cent, no matter if it's Giannis, he can do his. He can go on the court and do. He's first of all, he's wearing a throwback jersey, and nobody wears throwback jerseys anymore.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And he was doing his hits at the halftime during the Milwaukee Bucks game. And John just said, "Man, I don't care about this nonsense." And he starts
Let me just go out there
shooting
and
up.
get my warm up on.
Yeah, like I was just like, why does this thing keep on happening to him?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's bad enough.
He must piss somebody off really bad.
Yeah, I'm like, what did he do?
Besides,
I know him and 50 Cent got beat. 50 Cent bought his masters. He bought like all the front row seats at a concert and so nobody be up sitting up front. He just be doing asshole shit. But anyway, um, yeah. I guess we can start with what? We'll start with let's start with Robert Kraft getting caught soliciting prostitutes.
well, he wasn't soliciting prostitutes. He already solicited them, and he was actually there's footage of him having sexual intercourse with one of them in a spa.
For real? There's footage?
Yeah, they said there's footage.
Wow.
So if there's footage of it, then eventually it's going to leak. I mean, I could live without seeing that. But,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like some people need wanking material like Tom Brady. So to be honest, like it's a connection with the sex ring, and I don't think that he had anything to do with a sex ring. He just was going to get a prostitute. He's an old billionaire. He didn't want to be in a relationship. He lost his wife years ago to cancer. Why can't you just get a tug?
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is like, yeah. I mean, it's a good thing nobody really watches this because I probably get a lot of negative feedback. But I really don't see why prostitution is illegal anyway. I mean, I think human trafficking should be illegal, and that's what they were investigating when they did this. When they caught him, because it was a big human trafficking situation, and that's what like we're saying that we don't think he was involved in. We just think he was paying for sex and he got caught. You know what I mean? He got caught up in that ring. So it's like poor connection. Switch to audio only. So we might be just doing audio today. But yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he had anything to do with that. I just think he was in the wrong place, wrong time, multiple times. And because I think they said it's the second time they got him. I mean, not the second time they seen him there. So they got him the second time. But yeah, man, me personally, he'll be all right. He's worth like $6 billion. He's gonna be okay. He's probably not. I'm sure he's not gonna do any jail time. To me, it's not really that big of a deal.
I'm pretty sure he's going to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, I think he's going to do it again. Number one, number two, like I think that there's going to be, there's going to be like lots of like elite types and billionaires who are going to reach out to him like, "What are you doing like that for?"
Right.
It's like, and they're going to tell him to do it this way. They're going to do it a different way.
Right. They're gonna call him up like, "Yo, I got I got hoes on speed dial, right?" Like you ain't gotta do that.
Yeah, like they're pretty much gonna do it that way. You know what I'm saying? So I really just don't understand what the big deal is. The NFL is gonna punish him like for what?
Yeah, I mean it's just it's part of their collective bargaining that they're gonna punish him because of the fact that he's got into legal trouble, and it's just part of it. I mean, it's no different from if it was a player. So I mean, my thing is I don't think it should be illegal in the first place. So I mean, if anything, just go to Vegas. I mean, he can fly anywhere he wants. Just get on your private jet, fly to Vegas. If anything, if you want prostitutes, get some legal prostitution.
Well, you're not gonna fly to Vegas every time you want some. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Why not? What else he got to do?
You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanted like you're in Boston or something like that, you want to fly all the way to Vegas just to get some, fly all the way back home. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to get some where you're at. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of women in the Massachusetts area that plenty of hoes out there. Maybe he needs a different connect. He needs a different. He needs a different pipeline. It's called a different pipeline.
What happened in Florida though, right? That's where this happened at.
Yeah, it happened in Florida. They said, and you hear rumors about, oh, there's another even bigger name. And it was just like, I haven't heard the bigger name, so I think that's just bullshit. Even and I think Adam Schefter is the one who called. He's usually right about these things, but he's wrong. Like, where's the bigger name? Where is it?
I don't know. If Adam Schefter said that, I think it's just somebody that they're probably protecting. I don't know why.
Everyone else's name came out. Why are they protecting someone who got arrested? You know what I'm saying? Like if they got arrested, then like how would he know, and everyone else not know the name not come out for anybody else?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Adam Schefter has his connections. I don't know. Well, I mean, you might be right. I don't know. I mean, but I kind of believe that dude. I mean, because I believe Adam Schefter, so I kind of believe that there probably is another name, and I would love to know who that is. But whatever. I don't know. Yeah, but basically, yeah, he's gonna be all right. He's not gonna do any time. He's just a misdemeanor anyway. It's not like he can buy his way out of that, I'm sure. So, all right, moving on. I had a theory. Why don't the Giants and Steelers just swap wide receivers? Like the Steelers, I'm sure want somebody good like that, but the Giants, I think the Giants don't want to be in his contract. They gave him that extension, but they don't want to be in that contract. I think Antonio Brown has no more guaranteed money in his contract.
Well, to be honest, I don't want a 30-year-old wide receiver. I want a 24-year-old.
Right. Well, I ain't talking about why you don't do it. I'm saying why wouldn't the Giants do it when they would be out of Odell. I mean, if they're shopping him, they would be better off getting somebody who's just as good, if not better, and they can get out of his contract whenever they want. So I think it's a win-win for the Giants. The Steelers kind of should just get rid of him just because he's causing too much problems in the organization.
Well, to be honest, no one in the Giants organization has ever said that he want to trade Odell Beckham. That's all just rumors and hearsay and every time I read an article as to why they want to get rid of him, and it's all like, oh well, they don't want to deal with the trouble. I was like, what trouble? What trouble has he been in the past like 3 seasons? He hasn't been anything.
Yeah. He's just annoying on the sidelines.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're annoying on the sidelines, you're playing, you're available for games, you're not getting in trouble. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, there was people saying that he's all about himself. I'm like, that's not true. Like, he acts like that because they're not winning. He's acting like that because he's tired of losing. He doesn't want to lose. So, if the Giants are winning, I don't think he'd have a problem.
Yeah, like he doesn't do any of his antics on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably will want to move him because he had 1,000 yards this season, but it wasn't like his first couple seasons where he had 1,300, 1,450, 1,367. You know what I'm saying? After he had the ACL tear, you know what I'm saying? Like he only played 2 games that season. He only had 3. He only played 2 games. He had 302 yards. And the next season, which is last season, he had 1,052 yards. You know what I'm saying? But he was being missed a lot by Eli. It wasn't due to the fact that he was.
Plus, they had Saquon Barkley taking up a lot of those yards. So, when you got somebody dynamic like that, you got 2 dynamic players, somebody's numbers are going to suffer. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, like I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a good player, you pay him. You know, like, otherwise you would just traded him already before we got to this point. But whoever we get at quarterback is going to need someone like him, and we're going to need him and Saquon going forward. You know, it's not like you can't replace a wide receiver, but if you don't have one to replace him, then why get rid of the one you got? When it comes to either Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, um, they're gonna need to move on from both of those guys because both
Well,
are.
Le'Veon Bell's already moved on from. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, they're not gonna franchise him. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
So they need to move on because he does not want to be there. Antonio Brown does not want to be there. I don't know what happened in our organization to where nobody wants to play with them. Uh, whether it's I think it's mostly the money,
Yeah.
but
Well, Le'Veon
they're
Bell is
taking
the money.
shots.
Le'Veon Bell is definitely the money. He wanted more. He wanted to get paid. He wanted to get paid big. A huge contract, especially after seeing Gurley get a huge contract. You know what I mean? He's like he wants one too, and Pittsburgh they want to give that. They already committed to Antonio Brown, and Ben Roethlisberger already has a pretty big contract. So they said, so they didn't want to pay another player that. I mean, and to be honest, they really didn't have to pay Antonio Brown that because they always find receivers, and I mean they gave it to him because he's probably the hardest working player on their team. They said in terms of his training and stuff like that, he works harder than anybody. So that's a big reason why they gave it to him, and he deserves it. I'm just surprised that they did it because they find like receivers are a dime a dozen to them. They get great receivers all the time, and then they lose them, and then somebody else better replaces them. Just about every time, somebody else is better or just as good. So I was surprised. And shit, they got right now they got Juju, so like they can afford to trade Antonio Brown and they'll be okay. You know what I mean? Like, and as far as Le'Veon Bell, that guy that I can't remember the running back that took his place. He had a good year. He's not Le'Veon, but but the fact of the matter is they did not make the playoffs. Without I don't know if it was I don't know if they would have made it if Le'Veon Bell was there, but the fact of the matter is they didn't make it while he wasn't there. So that's something that they gotta think about. Um, Antonio Brown, I think he's more expendable than Le'Veon Bell, but he's the one that's under contract. Le'Veon's not, so they're gonna lose, and they're probably gonna. And they said, and from what I hear, only 3 teams are reached out to get Antonio Brown as of right now. So I don't know. They didn't say what
Well,
teams those were.
yeah. Well, Antonio Brown, like we said last week, that the Chiefs should have most definitely reach out to them.
For who?
That's
Antonio
not
Brown?
Le'Veon Bell, for Antonio Brown. Sorry,
The Chiefs?
the
Wow.
Chiefs should. That would
Damn.
be.
They don't have enough
That,
firepower.
well, think about it. Well, if they have both of them, because they need to replace Kareem Hunt. They don't need to replace Kareem Hunt, but it would
No.
be nice if they did.
Yeah.
And just imagine if they had those two guys on their team.
Antonio Brown and what's his name?
Yeah, and Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, you saying get both of them?
Yeah,
I,
both of them.
I don't know if they're gonna. Can they afford that?
They should be.
I guess in the short.
They're not
I guess in
paying
the short term they
quarterback yet.
can. Yeah, in the short term I guess
Yeah,
they can.
they can go for broke now. They
Yeah.
can win. They can try to go for broke now. Their quarterback is elite now,
Yeah.
so they can go for broke and give these guys 1 or 2 year deals
Right.
and see what
gotta pay
happens.
Mahomes. Until they gotta pay him. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Or give him a 5 year deal and say, okay, we'll give you a 5 year deal, and then when we gotta
cut him
pay, okay, just
cut him with right. Yeah. Yeah. Cause Oh yeah, I could definitely see the Le'Veon Bell thing. Damn, I wasn't thinking about. I wasn't thinking about either one of them going to the Chiefs, but definitely wasn't thinking about Antonio Brown going over there with Tyreek. Damn, they'd be damn. But they need to spend some money on defense too, though. That's for sure.
they got my cousin Justin Houston on the team. No, they ain't my cousin.
They gotta they got more than they gotta get more than that though. But yeah, I mean it still wouldn't hurt for them to go all in offensively and just do that. I mean, but in the end, like it comes down to can they beat the Patriots? Because the Rams kind of did that. The Rams loaded up and they couldn't even score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Like,
I blame down the coach.
Yeah.
Coach, he just got out coached by this team, and plus when you have a quarterback who's not really that great going up against that Bill Belichick defense. You're not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to have a good day. Plus, Todd Gurley was barely playing.
Yeah.
Did he play like maybe I don't even remember. The Super Bowl just
He
happened.
didn't play much. Yeah, he didn't play much at all. I mean,
I think he's hurt.
Half. Yeah, they're denying that because they got to deny that anyway. Or they're gonna get in trouble for not reporting it. So they got to stick to that story. But whether he's hurt or not, they got to stick with that. So, but I don't know. Either way, yeah. They said the Jets are concerned that he got out of shape. I'm sure Le'Veon Bell. That is. I'm sure Le'Veon Bell will be all right. Fine. I'm sure he'll be all right when the season starts. So if y'all want him, y'all better go get him because Darnold could use a running back like that to help him along. They said the Colts was one of the teams, but I don't think the Colts are interested. I don't know who else. They said Tampa might go after him. I heard Tampa's actually the favorite to get him.
Yeah, well, Tampa gets these guys and then they do nothing, or what happened to Doug Martin?
Yeah, but they got Bruce Arians now. I don't know. That's you get
Bruce Arians is a head coach.
Yeah. So,
he came out of retirement.
Yep, he came out of retirement. So
why did he come out of retirement last year? Well, we needed him.
I don't know. Well, y'all needed the Giants.
When we need him, when the Giants need him.
I don't think he probably didn't want to go there. He wants
to go to a warm weather team because
I guess because he was with Arizona. He was with the Colts who played in the dome. I don't know. He probably just want to play in the warm weather. But it's funny because during the season after Hugh Jackson got fired, he said he was only interested in the Cleveland job. And that was his quote. I saw it. He was like, they was like, well, what about Green Bay? He was like, Green Bay is a good organization. He was like, but I'm really interested in Cleveland. That's the only way I would come back. I'm thinking like, why you want that job so bad?
Well, probably because they got a young quarterback and
yeah. I guess Baker Mayfield. A lot of people. I guess he really saw the same thing in Baker Mayfield that Cleveland saw. I guess for that to be. I mean, he ended up not going there, and he ended up taking a Bucks job. But for him to want it that bad, I guess he felt Baker Mayfield was that good. So, but he's with Tampa, and he wants to work, and he knows what's the quarterback's name? Tampa's quarterback.
You're talking about an asshole.
Justin.
The quarterback?
What's his name? Winston?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Yeah. He knows him. Like he knew him since like high school or something like that. He worked with him before he got into the college and shit like that. So he's I guess that's why he wants to go there and see if he could fix him. But I hear Le'Veon Bell might be going there. That's better for that. What else we got? We could talk about Zion Williamson. We all got amped up to watch him against North Carolina, and then he gets hurt within 33 seconds.
His shoe. His Nike shoe exploded as soon as he stepped on that court and did like a pivot. I've never seen anything like that. That definitely puts Nike in a really bad spot. That your shoe is the one that almost almost crippled the number one overall pick in the NBA draft, and everyone against a rival team within the first couple of seconds of the game.
I wonder if there was some more sabotage going on. Like, where the conspiracy theories at? Like, did somebody sabotage your sneaker before you put them on?
Well, I heard Shaq and Barkley talking about it, and they said you have to change your sneakers when you play ball. You gotta change your sneakers every week.
Yeah,
it was like you can't wear the same pair of sneakers more than like for a whole week.
I heard NBA players nowadays only wear them once.
they only wear them once. Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you're playing one game, you just take up those sneakers and just give them away. Put another sneakers for the next game.
Yeah.
It's a brand new pair.
Yeah. Some people give them away to fans every game. Some people, like, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, that I didn't know.
I don't know how you can do that. Like, how can you break in sneak? Like, so as soon as you buy a pair of sneakers, you gotta break them in a little bit,
right? Yeah, like I don't know, but I guess since they wear them tight as hell anyway, so they won't.
They wear them tight and they tape them, so
right, so they won't turn the ankle. So I guess it don't matter if you break them in or not. But yeah, I just found that out about the wearing them every game thing. I was like, damn, I didn't know that they changed them every game.
Shaq even said, he was like, yeah, you can't wear those sneakers more. You try to wear sneakers 2 weeks, man, it's over. Those sneakers don't be destroyed.
That's crazy.
He said, you heard that Zion it hasn't bought a new pair of sneakers in months. I was just like, well, yeah, he's kind of like me. I don't like buying sneakers all the time.
But see, that's what I'm thinking. Like me, when I used to play at the gym all the time, I used to play 3 times a week on the same sneakers, and I wore the sneakers like for like a year or two, and I was fine. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why them who have access to better shit can't wear sneakers for more than a week. Like, and they're not playing. They're playing like 35 minutes. You know what I mean? Like college players are playing what 25, 30 minutes. Like,
yeah.
So I don't understand. They're not playing like they're not playing like 10 pickup games in a row. You know what I mean? They're playing 35 minutes, and you can't use those sneakers anymore. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make sense. It's like, these sneakers only good for 35 minutes, or sneakers are good for 35 minutes in your practices after the game for the week.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand.
So after that, like, as soon as you go to a new game, like, you gotta just unlace a new pair of sneakers. Like, that's
crazy to me.
It doesn't make sense to me either, but
But they're the pros.
I'm not a basketball player.
Right, they're the pros. So I don't know.
Speaking of pros, before we forget, we both like the story. We can talk about a New Jersey native, Al Harrington, who's a multi-millionaire.
Right,
for selling weed.
For selling weed. Yep.
He still looked at his face. He was happy as fuck.
I know. I'm real happy for him. Like, Jersey native. He went out with my elementary school girlfriend.
That's why he took your girl. Mr. Senior girl. Only thing he has to do is rap now. He'll have like the ghetto triad.
I was like, damn.
Weed dealer, basketball player.
Yeah, so as a story from what I remember from the article, his grandmother had medical issues, and she was she was using opioids or whatever, they weren't working. So he told her instead of using that, use marijuana, and he finally got her to use it, and she started doing better. And so that gave him the idea to open up his own marijuana business. He had one of his friends running it while he was in the NBA.
His cousin
His cousin running it. And then once he retired, or once the teams didn't want him no more, whatever happened first, then he switched over to that business. I mean, he's still doing the big 3 also, but yeah. So I was like, oh shit, I didn't know nothing about that. So that made me. I was like, why am I so proud of him?
Yeah, because he's selling weed legally. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is always people go to jail for doing the same shit?
Yeah,
he did exactly what he's supposed to do.
Right, he did it the right way. He started out in Colorado, where it was legal first. So he started out there, and now he's expanding it. Yep, he played for Denver, I believe. Yep, he played for them for a little bit. Yep, he played for a lot of teams. He played for the Knicks. He played for Denver, Indiana.
He played for us right before we got him, Mark. He played for us in the Dean Toney era.
Yeah.
When he was averaging 20, he was our best scorer.
Mm-hmm. Who else did he play for? Knicks, Indiana, Denver.
Probably Miami.
Huh?
Probably Miami.
I'm drawing a blank. Who was he with like the majority of his career? Who was he with early in his career? Because I can only remember the later stuff now. I can't remember nothing.
Not about his career. I can't. It can't really remember much about his career.
Yeah.
Every time you look him up, it says Al Harrington, marijuana mogul.
Oh wow! So he's not even known for basketball no more.
Oh, but it was his birthday the other day too.
Yeah.
Indiana for 6 years, Atlanta for 2,
Okay.
then back to Indiana for 1 year, then Golden State for 1, then New York for 2, then Denver for 2, Orlando for 1, Washington for 1, then the Fujinheim Sturgeons, then the Sydney Kings.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
South
he
Wales.
was all over the place. So Indiana was probably the team that he was with the longest, I guess. That's 7 seasons. Man. All right. Yeah. So anyway, that's basically it. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So he's makes like over $100 million doing that. I was like,
That is very cool.
That's
you know
amazing.
what I'm saying? Like, I don't even smoke weed, and I never smoked it in my
Yeah, me
life.
neither.
But I would love to be a marijuana mogul.
Word. Shit. I wonder how. I mean, it's probably so many people doing it now that's hard to. I mean, I'm sure you can still make money off it, but it's probably not enough. It's probably still not enough people doing it yet for you not to make money off it. But
Well, if you
yeah.
can corner the market and you can get a good share of it, then you have your market and make your money off of that. You know what I'm saying? Once they start making more stuff legal, then you start getting into that. But you don't put all your money in the same little pot. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I guess he can maximize his portfolio and get into prostitution too. I guess.
Yeah, they said he was
This will
like.
get to a sex ring.
And they said he used like $5 million of his NBA money to start it. So all right, I guess we can move on to LeBron and the Lakers. They're like 3.5 games out right now. I think out of the 8th spot, and um, LeBron said he's basically activated his playoff mode. But yeah, I
I
don't
think he
see.
activated layoff mode. He ain't playing any defense. I think he's still hurt. Um, he's not going to make the playoffs this year, and
He's gonna
now
get
people,
crushed for that.
yeah, now people are saying, now people are saying, oh, if he doesn't make the playoffs, we should burn his jersey. I'm like, well, whose jersey did you burn last year when you sucked?
For the past 7 years, when Kobe
Five,
Kobe
6, 7
was
years.
just lighting up the scoreboard, his own personal scoreboard, and he wasn't making the damn playoffs. What about that? But
Yeah, like yeah. This is good. This is not going to shine a good light on LeBron, especially after what I'm saying. Like after all the shit he tried to pull with trading half the team, and people are saying, "Oh, they should get over it." Like, why should they? You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, like he, saying like he's pushing you on the court to do this. All of a sudden, the next minute he's going behind the back, going to trying to get you traded.
right.
So it's just like fuck him. If I'm anybody on that team too, I'm like that's why a lot of players they secretly don't like him. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of his teammates secretly don't like him. I think Dwayne Wade secretly doesn't like him.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just like, yeah, well, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But he just does shit like that, and that pisses a lot of guys off. And then he goes back to the team like, yeah, we together. We doing this for us? No.
Like we in this together, right? Yeah, it's definitely don't look good for him right now. And I'm a huge LeBron fan, but yeah, like this is not one of his best years. Like between the injury and he never seemed like he was all in on being a Laker. He's just there to do his own personal thing. He's there to do
he's
him.
there. That's it. He's there to do his own thing.
But he can't expect his teammates to be all in. Now, granted, it's a business also, but chemistry matters. Like if they don't feel like you're all in, then that messes up with chemistry. If they don't feel like your best player is all in on what's best for the team, and now, granted, he's. I don't necessarily blame him for trying to get Anthony Davis, but like it's just a matter of how much you're putting on him and how much you're putting on the Lakers, because yeah, he obviously has. We all know that he has something to do with it, But we also know that he wants Luke Walton. But I also heard Magic wanted him out too because that's not Magic. That's not who Magic hired. Magic didn't hire Luke Walton, so I'm sure he wants to bring in his own guy. It's usually what happens when a GM or president comes in. They really kind of want to push the old guy out, no matter unless it's somebody legendary. You know what I mean? And even in that case, sometimes they want to push that guy out because they want to start their own thing. But I just think LeBron has just done too much this to where they're not going to be able to recover this year, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs either. And I think they're not. It's not like they're far out. They're 3.5 games out, and the Sacramento and the Clippers. They're not. It's not teams that are really really good or have. You know what I mean? So I think the Clippers will be hard. The Clippers got the 8th spot. They're going to be hard because they got Doc Rivers there as the coach, and now they did trade Tobias Harris and but they're still playing pretty well. So it's gonna be hard to pass them. I think they could pass Sacramento, but they're not gonna be that easy either. Sacramento's pretty tough this year. And Marvin Bagley's starting to come on strong finally. So I don't know. I think
Marvin Bagley Jr. Okay.
Whatever. No, Marvin Bagley the third. If you gotta correct me correctly.
Marvin Bagley a turd. LeBron's gonna get a lot. He's gonna get a lot of flack for this, and deservedly so.
Yeah. And even worse, I don't think they're gonna get anybody. Like, I'm not even sure if they're gonna get Anthony Davis at this point.
Anthony Davis, I'm not sure how smart he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did go to Kentucky, so I'm not sure if he's had. He's just one of these guys who are just athletes. I'm not sure if he's that smart, but if he knows anything about basketball, he would know that LeBron is in his declining. Look at the guys who are in his draft with him. They're all gone.
They're all retired or just retiring or just out of the league altogether.
They're gone. You know what I'm saying? How long do you think LeBron, like, you're going to really attach yourself to his organization with all these taxes? And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's a bad organization, but do you really think you're going to go there and win anything?
Well, because even though it's better than the situation he's in now, but still, like, you like.
But it's not like you can go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You can obviously go somewhere else.
Right, you have a lot of options.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't talking about this. I was listening to it wasn't a podcast. It was an interview on ESPN when I think they were talking to Broussard, and he's like, "Yeah, KD's people really want to go to New York." It was like, well, nobody said he want to go to the Knicks. He might want to go to Brooklyn. It was like, yeah, he's going to Brooklyn. I think Stephen A. Smith.
Wow.
He can just go to Brooklyn, but they only got room for one. They can't take both of them unless they take less money. Unless one of them takes less money, or the both of them take $25 million, and they'll be leaving 15. They both will be leaving $30 million on the table. Yeah. So, the choice is theirs, but they can take one of the guys.
Unless they make some trades during the off season, right before anything happens, or right around the time everything's happening, they can make trades, or maybe they trade for Anthony Davis and fucking sign KD or something. You know what I mean? Whatever the case.
They really don't have the assets to trade for Anthony Davis. They don't have the draft picks like the. You know what I'm saying? They're a playoff team, but you know what I'm saying, the only asset that'd be worth trading at that point would be the guy who's an all-star. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of role players and you have an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Like, you add one person to that and you have a really good team. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's KD or I think that team works a lot better if they would have Anthony Davis on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though KD's, he's KD.
Yeah.
I think that the Nets will work a lot better with.
Right. Like, yeah, because they got a bunch. Like, everybody on that team can shoot except for the center, Malik Allen, is it? Yeah, they all can shoot. Like, everybody on that. They can shoot their asses. They're number 2 in the league in 3-point shooting. Like they can shoot, and so if you add a star player that can get them even better shots, just think about how like they'd probably be number 1 next year. You know what I mean? If you get and especially if their star is somebody like a KD who can, like, if I'm really not ruling out the KD to the Brooklyn thing at all. Like people, like it's not really a thing that's getting momentum. But I always had in the back of my mind, I was like, why not go to a team that's gonna be a playoff team this year until you plug him in, and how just think about how good they would be if you plug him in next year. Like especially if say Toronto loses Kawhi. Like all of a sudden, they're like one of the top. They could be one of the top 4 teams in the East next year, if you add KD to that team. If you just add KD, just to him and nobody else, and you just bring basically back their core players that they already have, they're a top 4 team next year probably. And the only team, I mean, there's a bunch of teams that's got more talent. Like, well, I mean, I can say a bunch of teams. Like Boston has more talent than them, but Milwaukee's not much better than them if they get KD. If they're even better. Toronto won't be better if they lose Kawhi. Even if they keep Kawhi, how much better are they than a KD team with Brooklyn? You know what I mean? How much better? Like the only team that I would say is better, because I still think Boston, even though the record doesn't show, I still think Boston's the favorite to come out of the East. Personally, I just think they got more talent, more experience than those other teams, and I just expect them to, when they go up against Milwaukee or Toronto or Philly, then they're gonna win. I just don't see the other teams beating them. But yeah. So I mean, outside of Boston, I think you add KD to that team, to Brooklyn, I think they're as good as anybody in the East. So I wouldn't see why anybody wouldn't want to go there right now. They're built like they're they're doing really good without a superstar. So
yeah. Well, D'Angelo Russell's their star, and he's budding into it. He's becoming a superstar.
He's coming. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever be a superstar, but we'll see. I mean, he can do it. Yeah, he has the potential, but
yeah, that's another Laker. That's another Laker that would be a lot better off in LA. With actually, LeBron will be better off with him. I'm not sure if he'll be better off with LeBron. Yeah. Well, besides that, now we can talk about the Knicks. If we don't get KD, we're not gonna get AD because he's not a free agent. What I've heard from numerous people, in the real sports media, is that if the Knicks get the number 1 pick, they should not trade it for Anthony Davis. They
Absolutely
should just keep
not.
it. Just keep it.
Yeah. If we're not gonna get Zion, then maybe you consider trading and try to get AD. But if you're gonna get Zion, then you stick to the plan and just go into next year with Zion, Kevin Knox, Dotson, Trier, Dennis Smith Jr. You know what I mean? And Mitchell Robinson. That's a nice young core right there to me personally. Like I like if Zion is what he's supposed to be, then we got a star player to go with those pretty good young players. You know what I mean? They're all good.
And if we get Zion, then that fills a hole. We will still need a shooting guard because I know you like Dotson, and I like Trier. Those two are not starters. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no problem keeping both of them, but if we don't get a star like Kevin Durant, if we just get say if we completely strike out in free agency, which is a
real possibility.
It's a possibility, but people are saying, "Oh, if we do that, then it's all over." I was like, "No, it's not. It's not all over."
It's not all over.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you get number 1 pick, then we got if we get a great player, which is what we were talking about doing anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't have Porzingis anymore, so if we get this guy, then I'm totally fine with that. If we don't get number 1 pick, if we get number 2, then we got to answer a shooting guard right there. We have we'll have RJ, and I kind of want the number 2 pick. I'm kind of leaning towards getting number 2 picks.
Not me.
I'm kind of something about RJ Barrett just says that this guy is going to be a superstar in the NBA. What it seems like to me. It seems like Zion is a superstar in college. He's going to be really, really good in the league. But it seems like RJ is a star in college, but he's going to be a superstar in the NBA. It just seems that way to me.
Put it like this: I want the number 1 pick, and I want Zion no matter what. But I'm warming up to the idea of getting number 2 pick isn't the worst idea. It was the worst thing in the world. That's what I say. But I still want Zion. Like me, number 1, I want the number 1 pick, and I want Zion, and we'll worry about the rest later. Now, number 2 and getting RJ Barrett to me is fine too. Like it's fine. Like I'm good. I'd be comfortable and confident that RJ Barrett's gonna be a really good player. I was a couple weeks ago. I wasn't thinking that way, but now I think I'm with you on that. I still would rather have Zion. Like me, I want Zion.
I definitely get that, and I just don't want RJ Barrett to turn out to be another Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this guy has so much potential, but he never really shows it.
Right.
And if we get a number 3 pick, then I'm completely cool with trading it. Then we
have a problem.
If we get a number 3 pick down, I'm completely fine with trading it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, who's the number 3 pick that's been great? Come on now. It's just one really, really lucky pick at number 3.
Carmelo. Carmelo? Oh, you're talking about Jordan.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, because Jordan. That's right, Jordan. Sometimes I be thinking Jordan was number 2, but I forgot Olajuwon and Bowie went ahead of him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like there's only been one really, really lucky number 3 pick. And you know what I'm saying, if we trade that pick and that pick turns out to be the then I don't know what I'd do.
So
I don't know.
So would you want to get the point guard at number 3 if he's still available?
No, we already got a point guard. I'm not really interested in getting Ja Morant. I know he's going to be probably number 3 pick. I'm not interested in getting him. I've seen all I need to see from Dennis Smith to know that he's going to be our point guard of the future. I'm completely comfortable with having him.
I'm comfortable with having him too. And granted, I only saw a couple of highlights of what's his name, Morant.
Yeah, John Morant, like when he's dunking over people, like that's. Who do you think is going
to be better though? Do you think Dennis Smith is going to be better?
I think so. I think Dennis is going to be.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this guy's undersized. You know what I'm saying? Like he seems like an undersized, just volume shooter, and I'm not. I'm. If we didn't have Dennis Smith Jr., I'd be like, okay, we need a point guard. Since we do, I'm not really too big on him.
And that's why I really wish the Porzingis thing would have worked out, because I think if we have Porzingis, then having number 1, 2, or 3 would have been fine. You know what I mean? But now that we don't have Porzingis, it's like 1, maybe 2, and anything else is not going to help us. You know what I mean? So like that.
Well, Cam Reddish is falling off a lot. Yeah. His defense is still really good, but he's shooting terribly now.
I really wish we didn't have to trade Porzingis.
Well, he didn't want he didn't want to be here. And you don't have to trade a guy who doesn't want to be here. Like you can just try to keep him, but I'm not sure what they saw in him that says, okay, this guy's got to go, because we're not going to give him. Like, would you feel comfortable giving this guy $150 million knowing off an ACL tear? Like we would be in that loop where we would have to pay him $150 million.
Now, but yeah, and I get that, and I completely understand why you wouldn't want to do it, but I was prepared for it, and I kind of was at ease with doing it, to be honest. Like I know that there was a chance that he could have an injury-riddled career because he's already been hurt a few times already. So
He's been hurt
like 3 times.
He's had a 4-year career, and guys who are 7'3" don't last. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate to say it, if he was like 6'11", then yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the dude's 7'3", and he's already got bad feet, have bad injury in his knee. You don't know what he's gonna look like when he comes back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's already got an asshole brother who thinks he's a fucking agent to the stars, who's saying, "Oh, you need to do this for my brother. You need to do this for your brother." Like he took complete advantage of the fact that we haven't had a superstar on this team for a while, and we had a bunch of bad luck. So they pretty much took advantage of it by doing this and doing that. If you didn't kiss his ass, you know what I'm saying? Like he was already saying he didn't want to play with Kevin Durant. I was like, who the fuck are you?
Wow.
What have you ever done for anything? Like you've never even been to the playoffs. You've never done anything for. You've never done anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it. And when he flames out, which I think he's going to do, now I'm seeing it more and more. I'm just like, do 7'3" guys really do that well? And it's like they don't.
You're right.
It's just that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like if he was 7 foot like dirt, then I'd be like, all right, we got a problem. But and he wasn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like he was getting better and better, wasn't hurt, kept his mouth shut, just played ball. But you know, he's 7'3", can't stop fucking talking. And why do we always get the fucking douchebags? And then when he goes to, then he said he don't even want to play for Dallas. He may leave. Yes.
Wow.
He does not want to play for. He does not want to play for Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to convince him to stay.
Yeah.
He wants to play for Brooklyn.
Well, that's their problem. Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, does he get? Do they have the same? Does he get to keep it? Do they get to keep the rights that the Knicks had of making them restricted?
I think so. No. He's not going to sign. He said he's not going to sign that restricted tender.
Well, so what happens if he just never signs?
If he never signs it, then any other team can sign. They can match.
But what I'm saying, okay. So, but what I'm saying is, all right, wait. So, what if he doesn't sign with anybody? What if he doesn't sign with them? What if he doesn't sign an offer sheet with it?
Well, yeah, they'll still own his rights. You know what I'm saying? Like you're right, they still own his rights. But it'll be in his best interest to just sign eventually. Well,
if it gets to the point
he
where
doesn't have to. He could actually go negotiate with another team and say like, you give me a 1-year deal, and the Dallas Mavericks can match that.
Okay, so they can't do that. Remember, we talked about this. We wasn't sure if we could do that.
Yeah. Dallas can match that deal. You know what I'm saying? I think Dallas can match that.
No, but I'm saying a 1-year deal though, because remember we talked about this a few podcasts ago. When I was asking why wouldn't a team that wants out just ask the team to sign him for a 1-year deal just so that his own team can match it, and then he can just leave a year later? Because remember we talked about this.
I think with a restricted deal, I think you can do that with when you're an unrestricted free agent. You know what I'm saying? Then you don't need to do that.
Right, you don't need to do that. Right.
Saying, if you have a restricted deal, you don't have to sign. You really don't have to sign anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you can pretty much wait for the deals to come in. If you see a deal that you like, then you can pretty much sign it.
The offer sheet.
But if I'm Dallas, why would I? To be honest with you, if I'm Dallas and this guy wants to leave so bad, and that he's willing to sign a 1-year deal, I'm not.
They probably wouldn't match it.
I'm not gonna match it. I'm not gonna match it.
Then again, they might just so they could try to get a trade out of it before the deadline. But nobody's probably gonna deal with him either. So.
Yeah, and he can just become a unrestricted.
I would probably still match it, even if it's a 1-year deal and he wants to leave that bad.
That's best for business. You know what I'm saying? You can't just leave.
Right. I would still sign, and because who knows? Maybe they have a good year and he decides he wants to stay, or you can possibly find somebody that'll trade for him. That'll be hard, but it's not impossible. Somebody might trade for him because they want a deal. They want the deal now. They don't want him to hit the market, so they'll make a trade for him. And you know, and it'll have to be a team that he's agreeing to go to, or else the deal's gonna be dead. You know what I mean? Because if he says I'm not gonna resign there, then most teams are just gonna not even bother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you would think that he would want to be for playing Dallas, but he didn't want to go to Dallas.
Yeah, see, I
You
didn't
know what
know
I'm
that he
saying?
didn't
Like
want to go there.
he wanted to go to Brooklyn. He still wants to go to Brooklyn.
Hmm.
He wants to stay in New York.
Right. Hmm.
So I think that he's real cool with the owner of Brooklyn, the
The
Russian,
Russian guy, yeah.
yeah, the 7 footer. But yeah, that's pretty much it for him. Well, when it comes to him and us, I think the relationship is just messed up. You know, like people are gonna blame Dolan, but Dolan,
Don't let him have nothing to do
I,
with it.
he had nothing to do with that.
Let's.
He
By the
hasn't
way,
done a
let's
lot
just
of
get
things.
out of this thing of blaming Dolan for everything because Dolan hasn't been involved since he hired Phil Jackson.
Yeah, it's been years, but the media still has it. It still says, "Oh, it's Dolan." Dolan. He interfered with the team years ago
Right.
and hasn't done it since. Hasn't said anything since. And when rumors start talking about him selling the team, oh, he should still be selling the team. He should still, it's like, okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I would still be happy with him selling it just to get it
Yeah,
out of
I'd
his
be
hands.
happy.
But it's not. But I don't care about him anymore. He's not the problem. Like we he and it's funny because I was literally just thinking about this earlier today. I was like, yeah, I mean, he takes a lot of blame for being a bad owner, but it's not for a lack of trying. He brought in Isaiah Thomas, he brought in Larry Brown, he brought in Phil Jackson, he brought in successful NBA guys. You know what I mean? So like, you know, so you can blame him because he's the owner, but he's definitely the effort was there. He brought in good coaches. Like he brought in guys like Lenny Wilkens. Even you know Lenny Wilkens not a
Yeah,
great
Lenny
coach, but
Wilkins.
but
Uh,
he brought in good coaches.
yeah, Larry Brown, Mike D'Antoni. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like the only thing that he did, which interfered with the team, was when Donnie Walsh was there, and he kept interfering when Donnie Walsh was there. I'm like,
Right.
you hired Donnie Walsh to do a
Right. And
job.
who's by the way another really good executive that
Yeah,
he hired.
yeah, he hired Donnie Walsh to do a job, and then he would just push on his guys on Donnie Walsh, like Allen Houston, who's still there,
Right.
by the
Right.
way. He would
Right.
push his guys on him, and then when Donnie Walsh was planning behind the scenes to get LeBron James during that 2011 free agency, guess who goes to the papers to talk about we're going to get LeBron James? And they got a big smiling picture of James Dolan on the front page of the paper. Oh, this is the plan. Like, why are you revealing this plan? So then we moved a whole bunch of people out. We didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we said something. Then Miami did the same thing. Same thing. As soon as we did it, they did it.
Yep.
They weren't even thinking about it until we started. Until Don't open his big fucking mouth in 2011. Now we're doing something. Dolan's not saying a goddamn thing. He
Right.
learned from his fucking mistake.
He's letting his guys do their job. He hired the guys. Now he moved out the way. So let's stop putting everything on Dolan now. It's over. He's not the problem. He's not the major problem anymore. So we just gotta wait and see as far as the Knicks go. I guess we can do. We didn't even announce that we are gonna do this, but we're gonna do our. We did not last week, but we're doing our top 10
We
point
did announce
guards.
it then. We
We
did
announced it
announce it.
last week, but we didn't
Yeah,
announce
but
it
we did
at
announce
the
it.
beginning of the show. We didn't even say anything about it. But we're doing our top 10 point guards of our time. So you're not going to see none of the 70s and early 80s guys because we wasn't watching basketball then. So it's going to be basically, as far as I'm concerned, like late 80s and up. So like, that's what I started. That's what I was watching basketball. So, how you want to do? You want to go first?
You can go first.
All right, I'll go first. So, at number 10 is gonna be probably a surprise to a lot of people, but he's always been like I always really hit him higher regard than most other people. The rest of these guys are gonna be pretty obvious, but this guy I got Kevin Johnson at number 10. Kevin Johnson was a beast. He could shoot, he could pass. He was always on winning teams. They never won a championship, but he was on that Suns team that was loaded, and he was really damn good. I never forget when he dunked on Olajuwon in the playoffs that year. My number 9, I got Steve Nash. So,
See, I was gonna do my number 10. See, Okay, my number
Oh, we're
10.
gonna go back and forth.
We'll
Oh,
go
okay, go
back and
ahead.
forth.
Okay, go ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead, go ahead.
my number 10. My number 10 was Rajon Rondo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's right.
All
And
right.
I'll tell you why is Rajon Rondo. Even though the only thing that's missing from his game is he cannot shoot.
Yeah.
Everything else, he could score, he could defend, he could rebound, and he wasn't much of a leader because he was more of an asshole. But he has a championship. um, so for the past 20 years, you know what I'm saying, like he's one of my top 10 point guards.
Okay. All right. So my
Okay.
number 9 is, if you already know, Steve Nash. Um, Not much you can say. I mean, we already know his credentials, two-time MVP and all of that. I just think he was a good point guard leader. One of the best leaders. Really, very good passer. Very efficient player. Um, I got. I was debating. I thought about putting him higher on this list, but I just kind of like the other guys that I got because he's out of all the guys on this list. There's two guys on this list that weren't very good at defense. And he was one of the two. The rest of them are pretty good, or at least average. So I gave him a lot of bumps down because of that, and but he could have easily been higher on this list, but I got him at number 9.
Okay, my number 9 is Tim Hardaway.
Okay.
Um, just for what he did, Golden State for those 2 seasons.
Tim Hardaway Senior, that is.
Yeah, and Golden State for those 2 seasons when he had Don Nelson. Don Nelson looked like a hippie now. Have you seen Don Nelson?
I haven't seen him now.
Don Nelson grew out his hair long, really long, and has it in a ponytail, and
Now?
like he looks like a hip. Yeah, he has a ponytail now.
Isn't he
lost
like
a bunch
80?
of weight. Like you got to look at a picture of Don Nelson.
I'll look it up.
I did not know, I did not recognize him, but anyway, Tim Hardaway was part of those that Golden State team that run TMC.
Yeah.
Yep, and that when he got traded to Miami, he was always a thorn outside. But he wasn't too much of a thorn outside because we always kicked his ass.
Yeah.
But like he had that killer crossover, and but I really do think he should get a paternity test. But go ahead, who's the next one?
All right, number 8 is I got Russell Westbrook at number 8. Now I've criticized Westbrook highly over his career, but you can't argue with how good of a player he is. Like, he's, even after losing Durant and James Harden, they're still one of the better teams in the West. And that's mostly because of him. Even though he's having a down shooting year, he's still averaging a triple double again. And it's no matter how I disagree how he does his triple doubles, because I know he tries to force to get those rebounds. He's still doing it. He is still averaging a triple double, and that's hard to do for anybody, especially at a 6'4" point guard, 6'5" point guard.
Russell Westbrook?
What is he, 6'4"?
He's 6'3".
6'3". Okay, all right. I was a little off. So all right. So yeah, he's at my number 8.
My number 8 is Kevin Johnson. First athletic point guard you're going to see. He was on a lot of good teams. Sometimes people say he's the best part of those good teams, but yeah, like he's way underrated for the type of player he was. Didn't play really good for that long, so yeah, like that's my guy.
Okay. So number 7, I got Chris Paul at number 7. I like Chris Paul. I've always been a fan of Chris Paul since he was in Wake Forest. One of the best.
You don't watch college basketball,
but I watch him. I watched him though. There's a few college basketball players I watched him. I watched Tim Duncan, the 2 Wake Forest guys. I watched him and Tim Duncan and who else did I watch? But yeah, he's one of the few. But he's definitely one of the few college players I heard about him and I had to watch him. So yeah, Chris Paul, like, I just consider him one of the best. Like, he all around, he's a good defensive player. he's never won. He's probably never gonna win the championship. But
Probably.
well, I'm not gonna rule Houston out. Houston all of a sudden starting to look really good. So I'm not gonna rule Houston out 100% yet. But he's probably never gonna win. And but I always like Chris Paul. I think he's a good floor general. Even though he's not very liked by a lot of his teammates, but he's respected by them though, because they know he's a winner. You know what I mean? Even though he hasn't won the big one, but he's any team that he's on, he's gonna he's gonna make them a lot better than what they are. He makes them a contender. Like New Orleans was really good one year, and he was an MVP candidate. I thought he should have got it that year, but he didn't. And then he ended up with the Clippers for we know the rest of the story. But yeah, so I got CP3 at number 7? Number 7, yeah.
Yeah, number 7 for me is Russell Westbrook. Like you said, he was only played the average triple double since Oscar Robinson. Even though he should be ranked higher, but he's not. I rank him this high simply because of his stats, not because of the type of player he is, which is a selfish player. Guy who only chases his stats. He's not a winner. He never will win anything in his NBA. And to be honest, like, it kind of disgusts me that he's on this list because he's the type of player that I would never, ever, ever want on my team. I don't care. I don't care if he has MVP or not. The only reason I put him on this list is because of his stats now. But he disgusts me. He's revolting.
Jesus Christ.
His play, his basketball play is completely insulting to the game of basketball. He doesn't add anything to the game of basketball. He's a terrible person. He's a bad player.
Oh, this sounds like his worst top 10 point guard. His worst 10. Now, by the way, I have warmed up a little on Westbrook over the past year, so I'm not as hard on him as I used to be. But anyway, number 6. This one starts getting tougher for me. This whole list was tough for me actually, but I'm gonna go Jason Kidd at number 6.
Oh, that's so disrespectful.
Jason Kidd, he ended up winning the title, but not when he was in his prime. He was in his prime. He was great. He went to the finals twice. Brought the Nets to the finals twice. And he was a beast. He was a great all-around player. He used to get a lot of triple doubles. It was hard. It was hard for me to list these next 4 guys. These next 4 guys were tough for me to list. But tomorrow I might completely flip-flop these 4 players. But right now I got Jason Kidd at number 6. And I kind of did this on the fly too, right before the show, because I forgot we was doing this. So I kind of rushed into it too, because I don't feel 100% great about these next 4. Like I said, tomorrow might be different.
Okay, this is number 6.
Mm-hmm.
This is Chauncey Billups.
Okay.
All right. Chauncey Billups has a championship. Yeah, even though his stats aren't the best in the world, I'm completely fine with him being a leader of my team. His stats were good, just good enough. He didn't chase them. He's a great person. He's going to heaven one day. Now, who's the next person?
All right. Number 5, I got Gary Payton.
Disrespect.
The glove,
Go
one
ahead.
of the best, probably the best defensive guard on this list. Definitely the best defensive guard on this list. Him and Jason.
No, he's
Kidd.
not definitely. He's not definitely.
Him and Jason Kidd.
Guard.
Him and Jason Kidd are the best defensive guys on this list. On my list, anyway. He went to the finals. He won one, but he was at his prime when he won. Also, way out of his prime when he won.
I forgot he won one.
Yep, with Miami. Yep. But he did go to the finals back when he was
sitting on the damn bench.
No. He played when he was in Miami. He played. He was the backup, but he played. Him and Jason Williams was the point guards. But yeah, Gary Payton, number 5, who, again, probably should be a little higher on my list, but I guess they'll probably understand when you see the rest of the list. You know, it could change. But all right, that's my number 5.
My number 5 is Chris Paul. Um, Chris Paul is the top 5 point guard of all time. Um, he plays the game the right way. He gets his stats the right way. The good defensive player. Uh, if you can argue that he's one of the best players at 6 feet who ever played. Besides him and Isaiah and the other guy, Iverson. But yeah, like he's not liked by his teammates because he's kind of a dick. But yeah, like he's. Well, if you want to talk about pure point guards, that's the guy you talk about first and foremost.
All right, number 4, I got John Stockton. Now
Jesus
Stockton,
Christ.
John Stockton, I give him high regard because he's the all-time leader in assists and steals, and so that that's kind of a big deal for a point guard. You know what I mean? So like, I almost put him one notch higher on this list, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna put him right there because he's great. He's hit some clutch shots in the playoffs. Him and Malone was, he's a Hall of Famer. Him and Malone had a, great 1-2, and he been to the finals twice. Stockton is kind of underrated player nowadays. Like nobody really talks about John Stockton, but I think he's deserving to be in my top 5 for sure. So I got him at number 4.
Okay, my number 4 is Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd deserves to be number 4. He doesn't have the individual titles. He has one. He has one title. He doesn't have like the MVPs or anything like that. Like my next guy, who you're not gonna agree with, but I think is better than Jason Kidd because he does.
All right, we'll get to him.
Yeah, but Jason Kidd is one of the best defensive point guards ever to play the game, but could not shoot. Even though he's like top 3 all time in 3 pointers, but he still couldn't shoot.
Yeah, somehow he crept all the way up that high. But yeah. All right, you done with that? All right.
Okay.
Number 3, I got Isaiah Thomas. Um, One of the best ball handlers. He was clutch. He was 2-time champion, back-to-back champion with Detroit. Um, I th- like Yeah, there's nothing else you can say about Isaiah. He was tough as hell. He was just as tough as anybody. um, and he was just a beast. Like he was a leader of a 2-time champion. Like
And he was a dick too.
yeah,
He still is a dick. And he still is a dick, and you can see it every time he speaks, and he has that smile.
That smile. That smile makes you kind of not like him.
He doesn't. He threw his own daughter under the bus.
Literally, there was a bus crossing, and he threw it across the street. Nah.
When he OD'd, he threw his own daughter under the bus. But yeah, my number 3 is also Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Good defensive player, great point guard, textbook point guard. Not a good guy. Was had to deal with Bobby Knight in Indiana. The best story I had was when when they were playing practice, Bobby Knight went to the bathroom and wiped his ass with toilet paper and showed it to the guys. Said, "This is what you're playing like."
I'd have been like, I want to get transferred.
well, if you think about it, Bobby Knight has been successful all these years. He only has 2 guys who went to NBA. Out of all those years.
Wow.
Henry Coppercini.
Coppercini. All right. So my number 2 is Stephen Curry. I got Stephen Curry. He's the all-time greatest shooter ever, all-time ever. He's got what? How many MVPs? He got 2.
Yeah, he got 2.
2 MVPs. He's got the winningest. He's leader of the winningest team of all time, even though they didn't win a championship that year. But, and he's the heart and soul of that team. As great, he may not be the most talented player on his team. Durant is the most talented player on his team. It's still his team. He's the heart and soul of that team, and it's his team. And they're gonna win another championship. He's already won what, 3?
It's three.
He
He
has
has
three.
three.
Yeah, he won three championships. Probably gonna win his fourth this year, the third in a row. Who knows how many more he's gonna win? By the time his career is over, we might be calling him the number one point guard. But right now, I got him at number two.
Well, I don't call him a point guard. That's why he's not even on my top 10. Um, I I have number two. I have Steve Nash,
Wow.
and I'll tell you why. He brought in a revolution to this game that has never stopped to this day. With that 7 second offense, they still play that to this day, right now in this league, and everyone's doing it. not just D'Antoni. Everyone's doing it. D'Antoni's just doing it more than everyone else, and you're not going to win games. You're not going to win championships like that. You're going to win regular season games. You're going to blow people the fuck out. But as far as influence, Steve Nash was the best player on a historic Phoenix team that should have won championships but didn't. But set the pace for what's going on in the league today.
That's fair. I respect that.
Even though he did not play defense, and no, Gary Payton is not on my top 10. But go ahead.
Yeah, how the hell is that? But anyway,
that was a mistake. But go ahead.
You said it wasn't a mistake?
That was a mistake.
Oh, it was a mistake. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to start going through my list. I'm like, there's a couple people in here that seem like they should be here. All right, so my number one has been number one for the longest now. Magic Johnson. He's the guy. Magic Johnson's the man. There's nothing else we can say. Won 5 championships. He's the ultimate teammate. He's the ultimate team player who brings everybody together. Makes some great fucking passes. It's Magic Johnson. It's not really you don't even have to explain why he's the greatest point guard. He just is.
All right, my number one is also Derrick Rose. Nah, Magic Johnson. I never really saw that Laker team. I can say Magic Johnson, but I've only seen highlights. I've never watched an entire Lakers game from back then because that was before I started playing. Ironically, the year I started watching basketball was like the year Magic Johnson came back and played power forward. I was just like, yeah, well, he's kind of fat now.
I actually started watching like around say 87, 88-ish. Not that consistently. I was like 7 or 8 years old when I started watching. I didn't watch consistent basketball all the time and becoming a basketball junkie like that until like 91, 92, somewhere around there. I say 92. I think I was in junior high, so I say 92. But I did used to watch the Lakers. My dad was a Laker fan. I used to watch the Lakers with my dad. And one of those years, I remember for some reason, because I was a Laker fan because my dad was when I was that young. And I remember them losing in the finals to Boston one of those years. And I cried. I cried about it. And they was like, what are you crying for? I don't even know I was crying. I just knew that it was my dad's team. And I wanted them to win so bad for my dad. My dad didn't care nearly as much as I did.
But probably beat you.
But for some reason, I was just not upset about it.
About those goddamn Lakers.
And I was sitting there, and I was like, "Oh, the scrubs!" I just kept calling them scrubs. I was like, "What are you upset for?" And nobody paid me no mind. I'm about to sit there crying. But yeah. So you not having Gary Payton on your list definitely puzzles me. But you said it was a mistake, so I'm gonna let it slide.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have maybe took out Chauncey, even though because I like Chauncey so much. I had to put him on my list.
And also, you left out Iverson, who you consider the point guard.
Yeah,
so I was surprised about that too.
Say Iverson the point guard, yeah.
So I was surprised that you didn't have him in your top 10. That's what I thought you were gonna say when you said the next person I think is better than Stockton. I was thinking like, wow, I was thinking like, damn, you think Iverson is better than Stockton? But then you said Zeke. I was like, okay, well, all right, he's got the right top 3. And I was, but at the time, I'm thinking your top 3 is gonna be Magic, Steph, and Zeke.
I tried to make the top 20 without using Isaiah and Zeke. Like, how can you not do that? Isaiah is Zeke. I tried to take my top 10 and not use those 3 guys.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I tried to, you know what I'm saying? Those are the obvious picks.
Well, but
So
but they're still top 10. But they're obviously not.
I
What we
know,
should
but
have said was,
I was trying to think of other people. I was just like, there had to be other people around, but I automatically just took them out. I was like, all right, I gotta eliminate that guy because I'm just like, yeah, he's gonna be in the list, so I'm gonna put him up here.
oh, I see.
I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, he's gonna be in the list. You know what I'm saying? Gary Payne's gonna be in the list, but then I was just like, oh shit, I forgot about Gary Payne. I was like, oh shit, and Iverson, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where I put Iverson on that list. Actually, uh, I'd have to take out somebody, and
Who'd
not
you
gonna
have?
be Natch.
You had Billups, and you had who else? It was somebody else that I questioned you having up
Oh,
there.
probably Rondo. I probably have.
Oh yeah, Rondo was the other one.
I have to probably move him back and put Iverson out there, but because I consider Iverson the point guard, and he was a winner, but he just shot the ball too much. You know what I'm saying? Like you.
Just like you didn't put Steph up there because you don't consider him a point guard. I was like, damn.
Whenever you shoot the ball way too much, that's why. I would take off Russell Westbrook before I put anybody else. It's like whenever you shoot the ball up too much and your passing ain't like on point, then you know you're not really a point guard to me. Russell Westbrook is more of a point guard than Iverson, but who would I rather have? Who would you rather have, Iverson or Westbrook? That's a hard question, isn't it?
That's a very hard question. I think I would take Westbrook, even though I like Iverson more. I like Iverson. I'm a Iverson. You know, I love Iverson. Iverson's that dude. But I think I would take Westbrook. I don't know. But I just think he contributes more. You know what I mean? So like Iverson was just dominant, but I think Westbrook is doing a lot. I mean, Westbrook's not gonna win a title probably, but
Iverson's not.
But they've both been to the finals. They both got an MVP. I think I would go with Westbrook. Westbrook is more
of an all around
player, right? He's just gonna do more. He's just gonna give you more. Iverson is more of a fan favorite folklore type of. Even though he's talented, but people will put him high because of his heart and determination and how much and his style. You know what I mean? Everybody likes Iverson's style. It's a lot of things people like about Iverson. Westbrook is probably a better basketball player. So I'd have to go with Westbrook. Better defensive player.
Was Iverson or Westbrook?
Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook can play really good defense when he wants to, and that's another thing that confounds me about this guy, and that makes you pissed off because he only does it for his stats.
Yeah,
he only does it for he was all over James Harden. I was just like, whoa, wow.
Right,
I didn't see that type of defense ever.
I mean, I've seen him do it. That's not the first time I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it against Curry. I've seen him do it, but he doesn't always do it. And the problem is he got a high usage rate. He shoots the ball. He handles the ball so much. He does too much. By playoff time, he's burnt out. James Harden, same thing. He does a lot. By playoff time, he's burnt out. Like you can't do as much as you do during the regular season, and then when the game gets more physical in the playoffs, you can't do that. You're not gonna be able to do it. That's why James Harden a lot of times doesn't play well because he's not allowed to do a lot of the shit that he get away with during the regular season. They don't call those bullshit fouls for him in the playoffs. So all of a sudden he's not that effective. He's not quite as effective.
The other week.
Yeah. All of a sudden he's not as effective. Yeah, he was crying about the refs the other day. Like the nerve of you, like you don't know you you don't know how your bread is buttered. Like the refs do this for you all. Like you gonna get mad one game, let it go, let it go. The rest. And you gonna blame that one ref? That one ref only called 2 of those 6 fouls in that game. Like he may not like something about that guy, but he's not the reason why you fouled out. You fouled out because they just wasn't taking your shit tonight. So Like that's just all it came down to. Like you don't have no reason to be complaining to the refs. But I think it's time we should wrap this up. That's our top 10 point guards. Tune in next week. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. We may do another list. Who knows? But we're gonna try to spread these out because we don't want to burn them all up. But
we've been almost. It's almost going to point out our 1 year anniversary of the show. I'm not sure when we started.
The last week of March we started. So we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, when we do a 1 year anniversary, we're going to have giveaways. We're going to give out T-shirts. What the hell are you talking about? Swag. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to be shooting T-shirts into our living rooms.
I got what the hell are you talking about, douchebag. You know what I'm saying? I got that.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happened to all the 5,000 fans we used to have. But, you know what I'm saying? They're all in Russia, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what happened either, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it though. We're gonna build it up the right way. I don't know what that was either, but we're gonna build it up the right way. So either way, all right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
All right, thank you.